Let's look at these problems. They can get to be a bit of fun if you really get into it. If you've got a mind that's kind of spiraling through this problem like a drill and you're starting to enjoy the process, that's a very good sign. Because you're trying to find out, how does it work? How smart am I? How well can I think about this? And you're learning new ways. You're learning new ways to think about solving problems. And those approaches will be very useful for you. So here's one. The cost of 4 pads and 3 books is $34. Now, interestingly, the information you're given is that each pad is 2/3 the price of a book. It's like if a price of a book, imagine that's the price of a book. Now, if you break it into 3 equal parts, then 2 of those parts represents the price of a pad. So you can actually separate the pad from a book just by the price. So let's separate that. That's the price of a book. That's the price of a pad. And you can even imagine them to be pads, because if it's a price, it's the pad. Okay, now you got the cost of 4 pads and 3 books, right? Now that's 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 of these, 1, 2, 3. Now if you add them up, it comes to $34, the price. Look at all the shares, the exact shares. This has got 2 pieces, 2 parts, 2 shares, and they're all equal. So how many shares are there all together? Look at that. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You got 17 equal shares that add up to $34. So if you divide it by 17, then you should get the value of each share. So that means each share is $2. So you can populate all this with $2 here. Each one of these is $2 here. Now it's very easy. How much does a book cost? A book. Not all the books, just one book. So all you need to do is get rid of all this noise and focus on just one book. That's one book. And of course, that adds up to $6. And that's the price of one book. Isn't that kind of neat? It feels like magic. Wow. Just draw it and the whole thing works out. We can do it without drawing. You can actually do it this way. Each pad is 2/3 the price of a book. So one pad equals to 2/3 of a book. Means the price of a book, okay? So if one pad is 2/3 the price of a book, and of course one book is 3/3. All 3 parts belong to the book. But 2 of those parts belong to the pad. So one pad is 2/3 of a book. One book is 3/3. So if you want to do 4 pads, well, 4 pads will be 4 times 2/3, which is 8/3. So that's 8/3 of a book. And you got 3 books, so that means 3 times 3/3. 3 books would be 3 times 3/3. That's 9/3. And you know that the cost of these is 34. That means if you add these two, means you add 8/3 and you add 9/3, which is 17/3, then that should be equal to 34. So 17/3 makes 34. How much does 1/3 make? Well, divide 34 by 17, and each third is $2. Now you're pretty close to the solution. 1/3 is $2. How much does a book cost? Let's get rid of all the clutter and just look at one book. One book is 3/3, and 1/3 is $2. So 3/3 would be 3 times $2, which is $6. And that's how you find the answer. Isn't that kind of neat? It's pretty much what you did by drawing, but here you didn't draw, you just used numbers, a bit of imagination, and intelligent, logical thinking. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Here's another one. This is kind of long. This has got lots of information. Egg seller goes to the market with 560 eggs. Okay, I can show that as, imagine that's all of 560 eggs. Now on his way he broke 39 eggs. Okay, that's not telling me much. sold them at 15 cents each. Okay. And then he sold 85 at 10 cents each. You know, it's looking pretty complicated. And then he was left with 3/8 of his eggs. You can use this information. He was left with 3/8 of his eggs. Now that's interesting. If I break this whole thing into 8 equal parts, then 3 of those parts is what he's left with. Okay, now that's interesting because then I know this whole thing's been broken up into 8s. Now I can figure some things out because 8 equal parts makes 560 eggs. So if I divide 560 by 8, I should know how much is in each part. It must be, well, it's 70, isn't it? So it goes 70. That's it. That's a great piece of information. This thing is actually a window to lots of information. This is great. Now it actually gets easier because I know how much the whole thing is and how much each part is. Okay, so now he's broken eggs and he's sold big eggs. He's sold small eggs and he's broken some eggs. So he's kind of sold and broken eggs. So if you keep these things reserved, the eggs left, and this whole section is for eggs that he sold and broke, okay? All this from here to here. We know that this is 560 minus, if you add these three, we get 210 taken away. So that's the total amount of eggs sold and broken. Now that we have all this information, we can start from here. On his way, he broke 39 eggs. So if he broke 39 eggs, let's remove that from here. This bit is gone. So now the eggs sold and broken has shrunk a little bit. So if we take away 39 from 350, we will get 311. So we remove the broken. This is just eggs sold. He sold 311 eggs. Okay, we know that. Then we know that he sold 85 small eggs. Okay, let's create a space for removing 85 small eggs. So there's 85 small eggs gone. That's gone. So now the space of eggs sold has shrunk even more. That means out of all the eggs sold, 85 small eggs are gone. That means 311, take away 85, the answer left must be the large eggs. So 226 large eggs is what he sold. So notice we've covered all of this and it's explaining nicely. 210 eggs left, 85 small eggs, and broken 39 eggs, and large eggs sold. We managed to identify how many large eggs were sold. Why? Because they're asking how much did he make selling large eggs? Oh, we know that. Let's get rid of all the clutter on each side. He sold large eggs at 15 cents each. So let's just focus on the large eggs and get rid of the rest. We needed them to get all this information. So now 15 cents for each. So 226 multiplied by 15 cents. And we get that many cents, which is actually $33.90. That's how much he made selling large eggs. Isn't that kind of fun to do? We can do it without drawing, really. We can just make it with a grid. So let's start with this one. An egg seller went to the market with 560 eggs. Okay, that means the total eggs is 560. And then on his way, he broke 39 eggs. He broke 39 eggs there. And then he sold some large eggs at 15 cents each. Okay, we don't need that. He sold 85 small eggs. Okay. So he sold small eggs, 85 of them. And then what else? He's left with 3/8 of his eggs. So that means these are unsold. It's 3/8 of all his eggs. That means 3/8 of 560 eggs. So let's calculate that. This means to multiply. So these kind of knock out and we get 70. And 3 times 70 is 210. So we know how many unsold eggs there are. Okay, we're making some progress here. So now that we know that, we can work out large eggs. How many are large eggs? We can find out how many large eggs are there because we know the total number of eggs. We know how many were broken, how many were sold, and left unsold. So if we add up all these three and take them away from 560, so let's put 560 there and remove the eggs broken, remove the eggs sold, and remove the eggs unsold, and we'll know how many had to be removed. So if we remove 334 eggs, we'll know that the large eggs are 226. That's the total number of large eggs. And we know that he sold them at 15 cents each. So if each one of those cost 15 cents, then the total sale of large eggs would be 226 times 15 cents, and we will get the answer, $33.90. Voila. Piece of cake. All a question of clean, clear-headed thinking. And you won't get it automatically. It trains your mind to think clearly and think straight, think logically, like an arrow that's piercing through the problem and getting to the target. And there's your answer. So, you've trained yourself to do this, and you're getting deeper into the problems that you're going to look at even more. So, as you go and practice more with these kind of problems on your own, without looking at the video, just copy the word problem down on a piece of paper and see if you can draw it, figure it out, and wow, you'll get some power. You'll just look like you're the smartest person ever born. Take care, have a great day, and bye-bye.